This conference will now be recorded.
So, can someone tell me what we learned yesterday? At a high level at least. So mainly we learned what is the reusability kind of thing.
Oops concepts.
OOPS concepts. So what is called OOPS concept? So anything which supports class, object, and abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So that is called a OOPS language. Okay, which is supports OOPS concepts. So these 6 characteristics must be there. And the class is like a generic term, an object is like a specific term. Okay, and also we learned different types of the classes. So what are they?
Abstract and concrete classes.
Exactly, abstract class and concrete class. Okay, so abstract means it will be just having the definition kind of the thing. Okay, at a high level, what it will be having. Okay, whereas concrete class means it will be having the instantiation, we can instantiate. Otherwise, it is like a some specific item, okay, which we can touch also kind of the thing like that. Okay, and the abstract class ends with hyphen, and the concrete class does not end with hyphen. So, and also there is some PEGA default classes available in PEGA. So the very first class in PEGA is called at base class. Okay, so this is also one of the top class only, and it's called the ultimate base class. The at base class is the ultimate base class, and its immediate child classes like data, work, assign, etc. are called base classes. So and later, so we discussed about abstraction and encapsulation. So abstraction means, so where we will be just defining, encapsulation means we are grouping together. Okay, that is called the encapsulation. Okay, inheritance means accessing the data from parent class. Okay, so there are mainly 2 types of the inheritance concepts available. So what are they? Multi-level inheritance and remember
Multi-layer.
multiple inheritance. Okay, so multiple inheritance and multi-layer inheritance. So multi-layer inheritance means like grandfather, father, and child will be there. Whereas the multiple inheritance means one class can have multiple base classes. Okay. So this multiple inheritance, how we can apply means through this abstract and pattern and direct inheritance. So what is a pattern inheritance and what is a direct inheritance? Means when the class is having a name, so based on the class itself, we can identify, okay, what is that particular class. Okay, so for example, in case if you take something called A, B, and C, like that here, the class name is ABC. In that case, A is also A is also a class, B is also a class, and C is also a class. Okay, in this, C is derived from B and B is derived from A. So that means for C, B will be the father, for B, A will be the father. Okay, so like that, in the pattern inheritance, always the parent class name will be prefixed with the current class name. So here the current class C, okay, the current class C, the parent class is AB, like that. And if you take current class B, so for that the parent class is A. So in the pattern inheritance, always the current class will be having the prefix with the parent class. So that is called a pattern inheritance. So pattern inheritance means just by seeing the name of the class itself, we can understand. So which is the parent class. So each and every parent class will be differentiated, otherwise separated by hyphen. So that is called a parent base class. Okay. So whereas direct inheritance means there will not be any relationship between parent and child. Okay, that means only in the naming convention, by seeing just the name of the class, we don't know which is the direct class. So how we will be knowing that means when you open the definition of the class. So how we can open the definition of the class? By selecting the right mouse button and selecting the definition. So here, if you see that parent class directed, okay, here it is having parent class directed. So in this, we can give any class, okay. So whichever class you specify here, that will become the parent class that is with directed. Okay, so what is directed now? In the name of the class, there is no relationship, but you can access the properties or else functionality from the work dash cover. Okay, but whereas in the parent class of the pattern inheritance, just by seeing the name of the class also we can understand. So here totally how many number of the classes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 classes are there. So which is the current class? Okay, work class. So for this work class, which is the parent up to ICICI tag. So in case if you take ICICI tag, which is the parent class, HYD IMPL unit, that is the parent class. So for HYD IMPL unit, ICICI IMPDB is the parent class. Okay, for this ICICI is the parent class. So even if you are still doubtful whether this class is available or not, so select just that part of the class name and open here. See here, the class has been opened. Okay, up to work it's open. I see, all results. You see, this is the class. So even for this, the parent class, if you want to see, till IMPL unit. See, that is the class available. Okay, if you want to see what is the direct parent class for that, then select and press the right mouse button. Okay, select the definition. So when you use that, here you can see that what is the parent class with the directed inheritance. So here work dash cover is the direct inheritance. So like that we can see that. Okay, so in the class definition, you can select whether the class belongs to the abstract class or concrete class. Okay, and later created version and later find by name first or parent class is the directed which class belongs to. Here, few things are mandatory. Okay, pattern inheritance anyway by seeing the name of the class we can understand. Okay, but whereas parent class if it is directed, okay, so if you delete work dash cover, and if you want to save this rule, here save button is there. So if you save this rule, we will see whether it will save or not. See, you are getting an error. So what is the error you are getting? Parent class, please define a direct inheritance pattern class, parent class. Okay, that means if you want to create any of the class, here direct inheritance is mandatory. Without having the direct inheritance, you cannot create any class. Okay. So you must give any class name that may not be related to interlinked with the parent class with the pattern inheritance. Okay, any name of the class you can make it as a parent. Okay, but that class must be available in your application. Then only that class can be referred here. So now if you save it, it will be saved. You see here, now it's got saved. Okay, so like this, you must have the direct inheritance for any of the class. So even this can be one of the question even in the CSA certification or else even in the interviews also. Okay, when you are applying the inheritance, so which inheritance is mandatory? So we can say that, okay, direct inheritance is the mandatory one. Okay, that direct inheritance can be extended, can be derived from any of the class. Okay, but that must be in your application. Okay, so you may ask, this work dash cover is not created by us, and even this is not okay, belongs to the current application. Then this belongs to the which application? Work dash cover. This work dash cover is belongs to the PEGA sample application. Okay, then you would ask, if this is belongs to the PEGA sample application, and if it is not part of our application, how you are able to access this one? How we are able to access means our application is built on top of the PEGA sample. Okay, our application is built on top of the PEGA sample application. So you can access all the properties, all the classes, all the functionality which are part of the PEGA sample. Okay, so this is also one kind of the derivation or built-on application or inheritance. So that is the reason why you are able to access it. Okay, so how we came to know that, okay, our application is on top of the PEGA sample framework application. How means when you open the definition class, okay, when you open the definition of the current application, there we can see that, okay, built-on application is ICICI Gen. Okay, so our implementation application, okay, ICICI term insurance application, which is the implementation application, is built on ICICI Gen. Okay, ICICI Gen is a framework class. Again, this ICICI Gen framework class is built on UIKit. Again, this UIKit is built on application of PEGA rules. So, as it is having totally derived from 4 applications. So our current application is derived from the general insurance, and the general insurance application is derived from the UI kit, and the UI kit is derived from the PEGA rules. So your implementation insurance class, your implementation insurance application can access the properties any of the top level or else parent application, any of the built-on application. Okay, so this will be having the functionality or features from 4 applications. Okay, so that is the way you can access the classes. I'm closing all the classes, all the implementation or all the framework applications. So this general insurance and term insurance, all those things. Okay, so that is the main difference between the pattern and direct inheritance. So pattern inheritance causes a class to inherit rules from classes that match the prefix of the class name. So that match the prefix. So the prefix class will be the parent class. So use prefix segment that are followed by a hyphen. So each and every parent class will be differentiated or else separated by the hyphen. And the direct inheritance is explicitly specified by the developer. Okay, we are going to specify the direct inheritance. So it allows a class to inherit from a class not related to its name. So the name will not be related, or that name will not be interlinked. So a base class, a base level class always has direct inheritance from the at base class. Okay, so a base class always has the direct inheritance from the at base class. So this is the top level class, so by which all other classes will be derived. Okay, and a class can use both types of inheritance at the same time. It can have only one pattern parent and one direct parent. Okay, must always have a direct parent. So must always have a direct parent. Okay, So that means when you create the application, direct inheritance is mandatory. Without this, you cannot create any of the class. Okay, and when you have the inheritance concept, so the current class C is derived from B, B is derived from A, and along with that, you have the direct inheritance. Okay, the class which is like a work dash cover. Here the class C is there, here the class B is there, here the class A is there. Okay, and from work dash cover also C got extended. Now C can access the properties from which all are the classes. So the C can access the properties either from B and from A and work dash cover. Okay, for example, here there is a one property called P1. P1. So there is one property called P1. So when C wants to use P1, so what it will do? First, it will go and check with the parent, that is B. So if the P1 is available or not. So if the P1 is not available under the B, then it will go to the A. And here it found P1 property. So it will be accessing that property from here. Okay, so like this it is going to refer the properties. Okay, and for example, there is a one more property. Okay, there is a one more property called B1. Okay, so this B1 property is available where work dash cover. Okay, so when C wants to use the B1 property, so how it will check that? First, where it will go and check that for the B1 property? Can someone tell me? I want to use the property B1 in C. So first, where it will go and refer the B1 property is available or not. So whether it will go to the work dash cover first or else it will go to the B class first. No, first it will go to the B. But again, here there is an option. How exactly you want to refer. So while creating the class, if you see here, there is a one checkbox available. Find by name first, that is pattern. So that means first you refer the parent class which is having the pattern inheritance. And in case if you remove this checkbox, then as you said, it will go to the work dash cover first. That means first it will check the direct inheritance. But when you select this checkbox, what it will do? First it will check whether the property is available in the pattern inheritance base class or not. If it is not available in B, then it will go to the A. If it is not available in A, so B1 is not available in the grandfather also. So then what it will do? It will come back to the C and again it will go to the parent class, which is the directed parent class. So that is from the B1. Understood? Okay, so how exactly the inheritance will be worked based on the checkbox which you are selecting here. Okay, so if you select the checkbox, then it will go to B and then A and then it will go to the work dash cover. So for example, one property is available in both B class and even work dash cover class also. So the property B1 is available in work dash cover and even in B. So in that case, from where it will take the B1?
From pattern inheritance.
Exactly. So as I have selected this checkbox, so first it will go to the B class only. Here it is having the B1 property which is required for C. So it will stop, okay, going to the some other parent classes. So as whenever C wants to use the B1, it will come to the B base class. So which is based on the pattern inheritance and it is having the required property B1. So it will be accessing here. In case if it is not available, then only it will go to the another parent class. If it is not available there also, then only it will go to that. Okay. But in case if I deselected this checkbox, then what it will do? Now the same class C refers B1 property from work dash cover because I removed this checkbox. So it will go to the directed inheritance first. So that is the way it will access the properties from the parent classes. So that's all depends upon based on the checkbox you select it here. So by default, whenever you create a class, so this checkbox will be selected. In case if you don't want to use this, then you can deselect this and then save it. So the complete inheritance concept, okay, will be decided based upon the checkbox which you are selecting here. And even this work dash cover also may be having one more class of the parent class. That is work dash. So if it doesn't find any of the property here, then again it will go to the work dash cover. And even this is also extended from one more class. So what is that? Ultimate base class, that is at base class. So if the required property which you are accessing or else which you want, if it is not available in B, in A, in work dash cover, in work dash, then it will go to the at base class. If it is not available in any of these parent classes and if it is not available even in the current class also, then it will throw you an error saying this property is not available. Okay, this property is not available. So this is the way of the inheritance it will work, pattern and direct inheritance. So while creating the class, mention the direct inheritance is inevitable. That means it is mandatory. Pattern inheritance is optional. Okay, if pattern inheritance is mentioned by checking in the checkbox, pattern inheritance takes the precedence. So pattern inheritance will take the precedence, means first preference based on the checkbox you selected here. Okay, next thing is rule set. So one more important concept in PEGA is a rule set. Okay, and rule resolution. So what do you mean by rule set? So in PEGA, whenever you create anything, so that is called what? That is a rule. Okay, even one property which you are creating, that is also one rule. Okay, here if you create B1, P1, okay, they are the rules. And even if you create one class, C, B, A, that is also one rule. So in PEGA, everything is called a rule. Okay, so these rules, where exactly you are creating in one of the class, right? So here this B1 property is created in the B class. This P1 property is created in the A class. Again, one more B1 property we created in the work dash cover class. Okay, so like that, everything in PEGA is called a rule, and the rules whenever you create, so that will be part of the class. And also what we can do means, these all are the classes I can group into one rule sets. These all are the classes I can group into one rule sets. And even these would be part of the one more rule set. Okay, so what is the purpose of having again keeping it together into one rule set? Means by keeping everything into one rule set, what is the advantage means when you want to move the application from lower environments to the higher environments, okay, you can move the entire rule set. Okay, so for example, ICICI IMPL rule set I am going to create, and keeping all these things, all these under this particular rule set. So whenever you want to move the code from development environment to the testing environment, okay, I hope you know what I mean by environment. Environments means like mainly development environment, SIT, okay, UAT, QA, and then production. Okay, you developed one application, and after developing one applications, directly we will not move the code to the production. Production means what? Where exactly the end users are going to accessing the application. Okay, like Amazon.com or ICICIbank.com. Okay, so we are accessing, we are the end users. So from where we are accessing, we are accessing this application from one of the server which is available in maybe in India, or else even maybe some other location also. Okay, so we are accessing one application from one of the server. Okay, so that server from where the end user accesses the application is called the production server. Okay, it's called the production server. And the application where the development team is implementing the application is called the dev environment, development environment. Okay, so in between this development and production, there are various other servers will be available. Production like that. Okay, so the developers are implementing the application in the dev environment, and later they are moving that application to the SIT. Okay, in the SIT, testing team will be testing the application. Okay, there if they found any defects, they will be again raising the defects to the development team. So the development team will fix those defects and move it to the SIT. Okay, if it pass in SIT, then again they will move it to the QA environment, quality assurance testing kind of the thing. Okay, so once the code is successful in QA environment also, then it will move to the UAT. So UAT means user acceptance testing. Okay, even in the UAT environment also, if it is fine, if there are no defects, then it will move to the production. Okay, but here in SIT QA environment, the testing team will be testing the application. But whereas in the UAT, user acceptance testing, in this server, who will be testing, you know, the people who are accessing the production system itself will be testing in the UAT. Okay, why? Because these people are more clear or cleverer than SIT and QA testing people. Why? Because they are the end users. Okay, so directly before giving the application, okay, to the production people, what they will do, they will be asking to test the same application into the UAT environment. If they say that, if they confirm that the application which is implemented in UAT is working fine, then only that will be moved to the production. So when application is implemented from dev environment to when it moves to the production environment, in between there are 3 to 4 stages will be there. 3 to 4 stages means there are 3 to 4 servers will be there. Okay, on which again the people will be testing the application. Okay, if it pass in all these environments, then only they will be moving it to the production. Okay, understood? Okay, sometimes even there may be one more environment also. In between UAT and production, there is something called pre-production. Okay, there is something called pre-production environment. Okay, so there also they will move the application. If that works fine in the pre-production environment, then only they will be moving it to the production environment. Okay. So why we came to this part? Why we discussed about this environment? Why? Because we said that once after developing the application, we will be moving it to the higher environment. So what is the higher environment means? From dev to SIT, SIT to QA, QA to UAT, UAT to production. Okay, so how you can move this your application to the higher environments means by having this rule set. Okay, in the rule set, we will be specifying that we will be creating this classes and the properties or else the functionality whichever the client needs it. Okay, so once after creating that, once after implementing that application, okay, through this rule set ICICI IMPL, we can move the code to the higher environments. So to keep everything in one place, then it is very easy to move the application to the higher environments. So that is called a rule set. So a rule set is a collection of the classes and rules or whatever it is, okay, whatever you implement in PEGA. Okay, so that also we can specify in the application definition. So what is the application definition? So morning we discussed that, okay, our application definition will be having built on application, okay, on which it is going to be built so that we can access the other properties or else the functionality which is available under the ICICI General Insurance Framework application. Okay, along with that, here if you see application rule sets are there. Here ICICI Tire, ICICI INT, ICICI Division and Division INT. So like that there are various rule sets available. You see here application rule sets. Okay, so whenever you create any of the rule or whenever you create any functionality, that must be part of the class as well as rule set. Okay, so here these all are the rule sets available. So whenever I create ICICI application, it created ICICI organization level rule set. Okay, ICICI integration level rule set. Okay, and the division level rule set. Okay, ICICI Hyderabad unit. Okay, ICICI division. So like that, various rules will be created based on the application when you are creating. So these rule sets, okay, will be created automatically whenever you create a new application, or else even if you want, you can create yourself from the portal, from the development portal also we can create. Okay, we will discuss how to create the rule sets also from ourselves. Okay, right now how it's created all these rule sets? How it's created all these rule sets? How it's created all these classes? Did I create it manually or else how it's created? Anyone?
It is automatically created when we
Yeah,
created the
when it's
application.
created automatically. Yeah, you are
While
right.
creating application,
Yeah, exactly. While creating the application, so based on the name you have given, based on the what else? Based on the name you have given for your application and based on the organization division unit it has given, okay, you have selected while creating the new application, it is going to creating the rule sets and classes. So how we created the new application? By selecting this application name ICICI terms. So initially what was there here? Whenever you install the PEGA software, very first time, okay, it will be having PEGA sample application. Okay, why? Because that is the sample application created by PEGA. Okay, so on which you can log in and you can create your own applications as well. So how we created the new application? By selecting new application here. So we have given that, okay, whether you want to create the Cosmos application or Classic. Classic means everything we will be creating. So after selecting the Classic, okay, use this application type only. Okay, why? Because the classic application I have selected, and later once if you give any of the application name like ICICI, right now I am giving ABC, and here when you select advanced configuration, so here we used to have to see what all are the division units will be there. So organization is ICICI org, division name is ICICI div, unit is HYD unit. So based on the names you are giving ICICI division and unit, so it is going to create a rule set for each and everything. So for organization name one rule set, for division one rule set, for unit one more rule set. Okay, it is going to create it. Okay, and along with that it is going to create the application also ABC. Okay, and along with that, Okay, it is going to create the class groups also, class also. So based on the values which you are giving, it is going to create some default classes and rule sets. So last time when you create this ICICI general insurance and ICICI term insurance applications, okay, so I don't want this, I don't want to create it. So I just showed you when it has created all these rule sets, all these classes means whenever you are creating the new application. So and later automatically these rules will be populated. Okay, now you can access all the rules which are available under the ICICI, under the ICICI INT, okay, ICICI Hyderabad unit. So all these can be accessed from your current application. So what is that current application? ICICI Gen. So whichever the rule sets you will be specifying here, all these rule sets will be accessed from the ICICI General Insurance application. Okay, this General Insurance application is built on which class, which application UI kit. Okay, and even our current application name is what? ICICI term insurance. So this ICICI term insurance definition, okay, this is the definition of the ICICI term insurance. So here whatever you will be specifying, all these properties and functionality can be accessed from the ICICI term insurance. Clear? Pratik?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Sudarshan, are you able to follow me? I'm telling in general.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great, fine. So this is the rule sets and rule resolution. So by rule resolution means when you are accessing any property from where it has to be accessed, that is called the rule resolution. That means it is coming into the conclusion from where you need to access one property or else any of the functionality. So here if you take the current class is the C, when you refer the B1 property from where it has to be taken, that is going to be decided based on the pattern or direct inheritance. That is called a rule resolution. Okay, the rule it is going to be identifying from where it has to be taken. So whether it has to be taken from the B class or else work dash cover class. So if you select the pattern inheritance, it will take it from the B. If it is not having the pattern inheritance, it will take it from the work dash cover based on the direct inheritance. Okay, and if you want to use the P1 property, so first it will check whether that P1 property is available in the B or not. If it is not available in B, then only it will go to the parent class again, A. So here P1 is available. So C is accessing the P1 from here. That is called a rule resolution. Okay, rule resolution means from which class you have to access the property. That is called a rule resolution. So design and create a rule set hierarchy and its prerequisites. A rule set is a container that stores a related group of business rules and provides security, version controls, and ability to deploy your application in different process commander environment. Okay, even from the other environment, if you want to access, you can access it. Okay, so rule set hierarchy design allows you to control the aggregation of rules. So it is going to allows you to control the aggregation. Okay, so allows you to control the release of application changes. As I told you, if you want to move the application to the higher environments, that is called a release. So that is also will be controlled by the rule sets and rule resolution. So do you want to version portion or the application? Okay, do you want to limit the scope of changes to a particular area of the application? Okay, so if you want to limit to the particular portion, so how you can limit means here now we will discuss about the version. You see, whenever you are creating the class also you have something called version 010101. Okay, and even if you take any of the property also, it will be having something called version 010101. So in this version, there are totally 3 things are there. Okay, things. Why it is having 01 hyphen 01 hyphen 01. Okay, and each and every version is again separated by hyphen. Okay, each and every version is separated by hyphen. Okay, totally 3 parts it contains the version of the particular class. So each hyphen represents, okay, one thing called, okay, major version here. The first 2 digits indicates major version, and the next 2 digits indicates minor version, and the last 2 digits indicates patch version. Okay, major, minor, and patch version. So I'm not sure whether you people remember or not. Okay, when I'm explaining about the PEGA versions also, I told you PEGA started from the version 3.4 and later PEGA 4.1 version. Okay, PEGA 4.2 version, PEGA 5.1 version, PEGA 5.2 version, PEGA 5.3 version, PEGA 6, like that 6.0, 6.1. Okay, like that. There are n number of the versions. Okay, and currently we are at the PEGA 8.5 version. So when I was explaining about the PEGA versions also, I said like, okay, when the first digit is having change, that indicates there is a major features are added in the PEGA version. Okay, more number of the features added in the PEGA version. Okay, here in 5 also. Okay, compared to 4 version, 5 version, okay, there is a more number of the features has been added. But if you comes to here, 5.1 and 5.2, 5.3. Okay, so here this indicates minor changes available in the PEGA. Okay, there are only few changes available. The look and feel, okay, the look and feel, or else some small bugs which were available in the earlier versions, they might have fixed and released the new version. So that is the reason why 5.1, 5.2, 5.3 will not be having much difference. But whereas if you compare to the 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, so definitely there is a huge difference in the features provided by PEGA. So in that way we can understand, okay, what exactly the difference. In the same way, once you create the application, okay, once you create the application also, what it will do, the very first version will be having like ICICI General Insurance. Okay, that is the framework application which we created, and ICICI Term Insurance. Okay, this is the which application? Implementation application which we created. Okay, in this also the very first version is the 010101. Okay, the very first, okay, the very first version is the 010101. Okay, after that I have added some more features. So when you add some more features, what you can do, you can say that, okay, 01 hyphen 01 hyphen 02. So very minimal changes, maybe just the defect fixes I did and I moved it to the higher environments. So in that case, the patch version I will be releasing. The patch version I will be releasing major, minor, and patch version. So patch means what? Generally patch means what? Even if you take any bike, okay, if it is having puncture, what we will be doing? We will be doing the patching for that. Okay, so bike puncture we will be doing some kind of the patching. In the same way here also, there are some defects available in the current version of the ICICI term insurance application. So I created 010102. Okay, in the same way here, still some more defects were there. So what I did, ICICI term insurance, okay, 010103. Okay, but not like that. Okay, client has given some more functionality on top of the current application. Then what we can do? We can do like ICICI term insurance 01-02-01. 010201. That means I increased minor version, not the patch version. Okay, so on that functionality again, if any defects comes, what I will be doing is I will be giving ICICI term INS 01 hyphen 02 hyphen 02. Okay, now I am increasing the patch version. Okay, I'm increasing the patch version. So like that, the features will be added, the version will be changed automatically. So we will be fixing the defects in this version, and then this version we will be moving it to the higher environments, means SAT, UAT, QA, and again production environments. So like that, we can move the application from lower environments to higher environments, and while fixing any changes or while adding any new functionality, this version will be comes into the picture. So this and all we can create it. Okay, even we can create the next version of the current application or else current rule set versions, and then we can move it accordingly. We can implement the functionality accordingly. So that is the version. I hope everybody is clear. Okay, about the version. So rule sets are built as a layered cake. Okay, rule sets are built as a layered cake. So layers higher in the cake have prerequisites on the lower levels. Okay, means here when you open your application definition, so till 8 these are the layers available. Okay, so here from the lower rule set to the higher rule set we can access it. That means from ICICI INT, from ICICI, okay, from ICICI Hyderabad unit INT. Okay, so from all these levels you can access here. Okay, so this is also kind of the inheritance concept only. Okay, so you can access the properties which are available here to here you can access. Okay, here and here whichever the properties are available that you can be accessed here, but you cannot access the properties which are available here to here. Okay, vice versa is not possible. Okay, so this is the structure or else sequence which we will be following. So that layers higher in the cake have prerequisites on the lower levels. Okay, so these are the prerequisites for this rule set and rule set version, which you can access from all these layers to the current highest version like this. Okay, so rule set hierarchy at runtime. So searches rule sets in the order in which they appear in the user's profile list. So user's profile list is assembled from requester, organization, division, and access group. Okay, even if you open your profile also, you can see this complete list of the you can see this complete list how exactly it is available, that you can see under the profile also. So like in Yahoo or somewhere, whenever you log in, how exactly your operator ID will be displayed in the same way here also. This is the operator ID. Okay, right now I logged in as an administrator. Okay, so that is the reason why it is showing this operator as an admin. Okay, in case if you have any other operator ID like Harsha at ICICIGeneralInsurance.com, so here it will be displayed that operator ID. Okay, so when you select your operator ID and again profile, so here it will display the complete profile. So you this profile ID is what, this organization is what, okay, ICICI org, ICICI div, ICICI unit, okay, Hyderabad unit, okay, team, okay, default at ICICI org, like that. Okay, and even as I said, your complete rule sets will be displayed here. You see, totally your current application is built on how many applications? Built on, forgot. Whenever you open your application definition, here you will be seeing the built on application, right? This is the built-on application, right? ICICI Gen. Now, if you take this ICICI term insurance application, it is built on how many applications? Jagadish.
One. So ICICI
No,
term is ICICI Gen, which is one, but again, ICICI Gen is built on UI kit, sorry, framework or UI kit, I guess.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So that means this ICICI term insurance application is built on totally 3 applications. Okay. Here it is, even though it is showing ICICI Gen. So this is also having built-on application, means this is also having the parent. So what is that parent? UI kit. UI kit is also having one parent. So what is that? PEGA sample. So totally this current application is built on totally 4 applications. Okay, so whatever the rule sets available on all these built-on applications, so all those rule sets are accessible to the ICICI term insurance. You see UI kit. If you open UI kit, again you will be seeing PEGA rules. Okay, so like this. So whatever the rule sets it is showing, okay, on each and every application, so all those rule sets are accessible. You see, like this. Okay, this PEGA sample is built or using all these rule sets. So your term insurance application can access all the rule sets which are specified in the PEGA sample, and all the rule sets which are specified under the UI kit, and all the rules which are specified under the ICICI Gen, and all the rules which are specified under the ICICI term insurance. Okay, so all those rule sets will be displayed here. You see here. So these many rule sets are belongs to the PEGA sample. Where this part. Okay, these all are the rule sets available under the PEGA sample. And later on top of that UI kit is there. UI kit is having only one rule set, so that is displaying here. And after that it has the general insurance. Okay, and on top of it you have term insurance. So like that, if you open your operator profile, you can see your application can access the properties from which all are the rule sets. Okay, so the functionality which is available on all these rule sets and on all these versions, okay, can be accessed from your current application. Okay, customization. Okay, so the rule sets or application rule sets both are same only, but the only difference is here it shows that versions also, and it doesn't show the versions. Okay, like this. Okay, so where exactly you can see means you can see by going to your operator profile and see what all are the functions or else the features which you can access. Okay, so that is how it is built. It is built based on the requester, organization, division, and access group. Okay, it is taking the rule sets from all these levels. Okay, so as I told you, what is the difference between classes and rule sets? Okay, one rule sets can contain many number of the classes, and each and every class can contain its own functionality. So one application may be used for accepting the employee details, and same application can be used for accepting the customer details. So employee details also one functionality, accepting customer details also one of the functionality. So for accepting the employee details, we can create one class. For accepting the customer details, we can create one more class, but they both can be created under one rule set itself. So while creating a new class, you need to identify the rule set version number that applies to the class. You see, you also need to identify the rule set version on which you wanted to create it. So the archive tools depend on this version, the archive tool, or else even moving the application. So the export archive tool includes this class inherit instance if you export the rule set version or a higher numbered version. Okay, so what is this archive and what is this exporting means? Archiving means, for example, I am maintaining the employee details, okay, from past 10 years. So the server, okay, as the server is maintaining the information from past 10 years, sometimes it may reduce the performance of the application. That means your application may run very slowly. So what I want to do is, sometimes I want to delete the employee details who moved out of the organization. Okay, but if you delete it, it may be problem in case in future if you want to refer the data. So what we can do, we can take the backup and again we can delete it from the current server. Okay, so that backup, how we can do means by taking something called archiving tool. Okay, you know backup, right? Sometimes what we will be doing, okay, from your laptop, either you will be copying into some of the CD. Okay, so why? Because if the laptop has broken or else if it is crashed, so still we will be having the backup. Okay, in the same way here also, when you are maintaining the data from so many days and when it is having large amount of data, so if you want to delete the data which is not required at the current stage, okay, what we can do, we can delete it. But before deleting, for the safer side, we can take the backup. Okay, so you can take the backup of your current data and again you can delete it. So that kind of the archiving you can do by making it to the what? By creating the rule set versions. Okay, like major, minor, and again patch. So we can move the complete information into one of the version and again we can delete it. So whenever you want, again you can get back the data. Okay, and however, version information in class rules is not used for rule resolution. You cannot define multiple class rules with the same class name but different versions. Okay, you cannot create the multiple classes with the same name. So that is one of the things. You see here, he has taken one example like your company loan. Okay, this is one of the rule set. Okay, and after that, okay, 3 versions available: 01, 03, 05. Okay, 3 dash delimited numbers starting with 01, 01, 01. It will start from 01, 01, 01. Okay, 01 is the major version. Okay, 03 is the minor version. Okay, 05 is the interim release, that is the patch version. Okay, with that release. So each and every version will be represented like that: major, minor, and again patch version. Okay, so even if you want to move to the higher environments, we can log the rule sets also. Okay, we will discuss about that. Okay, how to log the rule sets, how to move the data to the higher environments, all I will be showing. Okay, all these things we will be discussing in the coming classes. Now what we will do, now we have created something called rule sets and classes. Next thing, what? So we need to create the user interface. So what is the user interface? Can someone tell me what is the user interface? Otherwise, what is called form? At present, yeah, please go ahead. Someone said something. You can go ahead, no problem.
Can you come again, sir?
Yeah, what is the form? Otherwise, what is the user interface?
Form means something what like, for example, insurance is if you are applying for insurance, we have to fill our details.
Yes, exactly, correct. So if you want to take any policy, yeah, if you want to take any policy, we have to fill the form. Not only that, even if you want to create the account in Amazon.com or Amazon.in, or if you want to create the Gmail ID account also, what you will be doing? You will be giving your details like your age, your date of birth, okay, your first name, last name, middle name, password, all these details you are entering. So that is the one form on which you are providing your details. Not only that, even at present we are on one of the screen in PEGA.
ICICI is also a form, right?
Yeah, exactly. So anything, okay, wherever you, by which you will be interacting to the system is called a form. Okay, that's what I'm telling. Even this is also one of the form only. This is the rule set form. In this rule set form, I'm going to select which is the built-on application. Okay, what are the rule sets it can be accessed. So all this data I'm going to be entering. So this is also one of the form. So form is a place by which you will be interacting with the server. Okay, where you will be providing some details, or else from where you will be accessing some data. And even after logging into the ICICI portal, you will be seeing one more form. okay, on which you will be seeing your current account number and again your balance in the account. So everything will be seeing over there. And once if you want to transfer the funds from one account to another transfer, you will be selecting funds transfer, okay, or else money transfer. Again, it is going to be modifying the form according to the option which you are selecting. So a form means by which you will be interacting with the server. Okay, that can be anything, whatever the information you can give, that will be depends upon the option you have selected. So they all are the forms. So on the form, again, you are seeing various things here. So what is this? So this is one of the text box. Okay, so where we will be giving name of the application, and this is also one of the property. Okay, so what is that? By which we will be giving the version of the application. So all these properties, okay, here called some text boxes, or otherwise some buttons, otherwise some check boxes. Okay, all these things we will be giving here. So in this form, we have these things like entering the details. And whereas if you go to some other form like cases and data, so this will be different again. Yeah, you see here. Here you have something called one checkbox is there. Okay, again, some more text boxes are there. Okay, like if you, after giving the data, in case if you don't want it, okay. Okay, I have given some details. Okay, after giving some details, if you feel that I don't want this, okay, I don't need it, so then what you can do, you can delete it here. How you can delete it? Here you have something called some delete item one is there, so by which you can delete the values. If you select that, it will be deleted. See here. Okay, so if you want to add a row, you will be selecting plus icon here, so it is going to be adding one particular row here. So they all are the fields on the form. Okay, they all are the fields on the form. So here we have something called add button, okay, delete button, okay, and again open button. So if you want to open that class, you can select open button. Okay, see here, I have selected one class here, and after selecting the class, if you select open icon, it is going to open that particular class over there. Okay, ADORG AB Expo SR. Okay, that is part of the PEGA UI design rule set. Okay, so whenever you open any form, we will be seeing the name of the form and also the rule set to which it belongs, and also the rule set version to which it belongs. Okay, so like that, we can create one user interface form, and again, you can further process your application by designing and developing the application. And later we can decide from which form to which form you want to go. So first, if you take leave application, first I want to create the form for entering the leave details, like from which day to which day you want to go on leave. And that is also what kind of the leave, whether it is a sick leave or planned leave, otherwise it is like a company holiday. So what exactly, like that we will be selecting, and later what it will do, from that form it will go to the next level form, okay, to the manager, okay, who can approve or else who can reject the form. Once it is approved or rejected, again it will come back to the same operator saying your leave got approved, okay, with some message. So they all are the forms like that. Clear? Any doubts? Pratik, Sudarshan,
Yes, sir.
are you okay? Great.
Yes.
Nice.
So when
Thank
you
you.
explain things on the field portal, I mean, it's very easy to understand, but when it comes to this portal, like the Pega portal, so I just get confused sometimes.
No, no. That's why I'm even interrelating everything. Okay, whatever I am
Yes.
explaining here in the PPT, that again I'm coming here and I'm interrelating. Okay, so
Hmm.
that it is for you to understand. Yeah, still if you have any queries here, you can ask me. So if you feel anything confusion, okay,
No,
so
sir.
you, I can explain you again. Okay. Yeah, that's all for the day. So tomorrow I will be going to create some of the forms, and then I will be merging the forms from one form to another form, how we can go. Okay. Yeah, if no queries, yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Same time.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye.